Welcome to the NFL Picks Week 8 with the Goon Squad. Pretty good week last week, but Black seemed to kind of spread his lead out a little bit. Let's go through the results of Week 7. Black Thor had a 12-2 record last week. He has a 67-40 record with one tie. Pop had a 10-4 record last week, and he has a 62-45 record. Along with Ice Water, they have the same record. They both are sharing second place, and I'm coming in the rear. That came out wrong. But anyway, I have a 10-4 record. I have a 10-4 record with a 59-48 and one record. I'm not going to edit that out. It is what it is. Folks know what I mean, and it don't mean the naughty way either. We'll just give a summary of last week's games. What game stood out to you?
I'm gonna just say this: Tampa Bay is in trouble.
Yeesh.
They are in trouble. I don't know what's going on. I'm just gonna keep it simple. I think a lot of things are happening off the field for Tom Brady. I don't think the team is playing up to par, and he's really upset by that. He's trying to force it. He may not be the same Tom Brady that we saw before, but in the past, at least, was able to get a little help. Maybe he's getting a little long in the tooth. A lot of the things in the offseason are probably weighing on him, and it's kind of showing on the field, in my opinion. I don't know if it has to do with the coaches or whatever, what's calling them to either, but to lose to the way that they lost and only scored 3 points, it almost tells me that it's time for him to go. I don't know how he feels about that. He's never say he's going to quit because he's not a quitter, but 3 points in that game was just atrocious. And the other game that I saw, and I'll just talk about the team, I wanted to believe, and I thought the Chargers were better.
Yeah.
And I'm finding out right now that I wouldn't say they're overrated, but maybe they're just not as good as we thought they should be. I think because of the young quarterback that they have, and they have a lot of struggles on defense right now with Bosa being out, some other folks struggling. But I thought anyway, a lot of people thought that they were going to be on the same realm or close to inching up like the advancement of Buffalo. And it's been quite the contrary, where they have not been on that level at all. So you went out and you make a major move to pick up some defensive stalwarts to go with Bosa, and you simply last week you just got shocked. I didn't get that, and I'm sitting there going like, what happened?
Yeah, and they don't get time to kind of rebound either, because they go against Baltimore this week, and I'm sure Baltimore wants to kind of just trounce on them. Don't care about their problems. But, when we talked about this last week, when Tom Brady went to, I guess, a ceremony or an event with Robert Kraft, and it just seemed to be just disloyal. And the team is kind of feeling that too. You can kind of see the way they're playing. They're not playing as hard as you expect them to play. They're 2 years removed from a Super Bowl. But I kind of saw this with Tampa Bay. They're not a cohesive unit. I feel bad for the coach because he gets another shot to coach, and he's trying to coach this team that is talented, is really talented, but they're just not showing it on the field. And you kind of feel bad for the Coach Bowles, but Tom Brady is 45 years old, and he's going through some personal issues, and it is affecting the play on the field. So we'll see that. We'll see that how that kind of fares in Baltimore. But the game that really made me mad, because I fell asleep on it, Detroit was handling Dallas at one particular point, and then I fell asleep and woke up, and then they were sitting there talking to Dak Prescott, and I'm like, damn, if they're talking to Dak Prescott, they won the game. And so what I've been saying from day one is Dallas's defense is fierce. And if they can keep that defense going, they're going to be a team to be reckoned with in going into the postseason, because they're looking like their schedule, and they're looking like they will get to the postseason if they can keep people healthy. The Green Bay and Washington game, Aaron Rodgers, quit blaming everybody else. It's you too. You all stink. You all stink. I can't believe that professional athletes who get all the practice time, you had training camp and all this stuff, and you still can't get it together for the regular season. Don't blame it on the receivers. Don't blame it on the line. Blame it on, didn't he take some kind of some kind of special drug therapy over the, yeah. It kind of shows. It kind of shows because he's just not the same Aaron Rodgers. And if you're a quarterback and you have receivers and they can get open, and some of them are open, you need to hit them. But to me, it's like the offense. We talked about it earlier in the other show. The offensive play calling, the wide receiver screens. It's not working out for the Green Bay Packers. So I'm not sure what they're going to do. He said go basic again. I'm not sure that's going to work in the NFL. But let's go on to our picks, and the Giants keep winning. So hey, what can I say? The pick order is Pop and Black. They gave their picks earlier, and now it's me and Ice giving our picks on the show. So the first game on tap is Baltimore and Tampa Bay. Pop is saying, hey, Tampa Bay has to win one because they're on a losing streak. So he expects them to kind of bounce back. So he's picking Tampa Bay. Black is picking Baltimore. Ice, who you got?
One with Baltimore. I don't know how I guess my point is I don't know how Tampa Bay can keep up with the way that Baltimore scores. Tampa Bay scoring is having difficulty moving the football. Tom Brady's trying, but I just don't know how they're going to keep up with them. And I think the Tampa Bay defense has been up and down. You score 3 points, but you give up the Tampa Bay defense last week gave up 24 points to a team clearly that they should have won, that was playing off of a straight intensity and playing for their coach, rallying around their coach after losing their best player to a trade.
I got to go with Baltimore too. Even though Tampa Bay is at home, and we've counted Tom out before. I don't know how they fix this. I really don't know how they fix this because teams are doing exactly what me and Black have always known about Tom Brady, watching him in New England all these years, go up the middle, and Tom is just a regular quarterback. Next game on tap is Denver at Jacksonville. This is overseas. Pop is going with Jacksonville. Black is going with Jacksonville. All right, so you got.
Man, I don't know who the hell the quarterback is. That's my problem with it.
Actually, I was watching news, and Russell Wilson says he expects to play on Sunday.
Oh my God!
If that even makes a difference, the way he's been playing.
Yeah, but it makes a difference because he'll get over there and clown. But Jacksonville's not a bad team, and with the wide receiver, they traded Robinson recently, and that means ETN's getting more reps, and that's going to make a major difference. I'm going with Jacksonville.
All right. I'm going with Jacksonville also in that. It was really tempting to hear the news of Russell Wilson coming back, but I'm like, bruh, you haven't been playing well while you were there before you got hurt. So you're still mending an injury, trying to come back. So we'll see. So it's Jacksonville across the board. Next game on tap is Arizona at Minnesota. Pop is going with Minnesota. Black is going with Minnesota. Who you got?
Yeah, Arizona played well. DeAndre Hopkins came back, 10 receptions for 100 plus yards. But Mr. Murray, little dude, Kirk Cousins is on one right now. I don't know why you had to say that, but they have played well at times. I don't think that there's enough. The Arizona defense would have to step up and do that, and when I really play well in order to beat Minnesota. I don't think they will, so I'm gonna choose Minnesota.
All right, I got to stray away from the group on this one. Murray and Hopkins, when they're together, they tend to win. So he got his weapon back. So I'm gonna go with Arizona on this one. Next game on tap is Carolina at Atlanta. Pop went with ATL. So did Black. Who you got?
Carolina last week was impressive.
Yeah,
they rose up to the occasion, got things done. But you ask him to do that 2 games in a row. The only thing that held ATL back is a few little miscues here and there against a very tough team. Though they were fighting to the very end, and I don't know if Carolina has in them. So I'm gonna go to ATL. They showing that they're fighting. They're fighting hard. They have a running back. They have a young wide receiver in London that's playing pretty good. Mariota somehow or another is finding ways to make plays, and yeah, I think they'll beat. They'll win this game.
Yeah, I kind of see Mariota, the way he's playing is like, man, this might be my final chance. And that's the way he's playing. He's playing desperate. He's playing all out. And so I got to go with Atlanta too on this one against Carolina, even though Carolina had a great game last week. Chicago at Dallas. Chicago had a great game on Monday night. They surprised me, beating New England at New England. Justin Fields, people got to see what this guy is all about. But Pop and Black are going with Dallas. Who you got?
Yeah, Justin, you know we got love for you here in Columbus, Ohio, brother. Always got love for you. But we got to be real about it. I saw how you were bounced around earlier in games. You will be bounced around. Get a lot of rest, bro. Get a lot of rest because you're going to be running for your life. And a lot of stuff you got off last week will not happen against the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas.
Yeah, I got to go with Dallas too. That defense, a lot of people were talking about Dak Prescott, but I said that defense has been holding court through the injuries, through the Cooper Rush era. So that defense has been impressive since day one. I saw them in week one. And so I got to go with Dallas also. Next game on tap is the Las Vegas Raiders versus the New Orleans Saints. Who you got? Or Pop and Black went with the Las Vegas Raiders. Who you got?
Yeah, Andy Dalton starting. Jameis Winston is not going to start, even though he's healthy right now. Only good thing is Chris Olave is playing out of his mind. Everybody love Chris Olave, but I think you need more weapons. And the Raiders defense has showed up a little bit, and I think that Adams is really mad. He's still angry, so he's playing with a little chip on his shoulder. So I'm gonna choose the Raiders.
Yeah, I got to go with the Raiders too. That's saying something when Winston is healthy and they're not starting. Might be the end of the line for him because
yeah, it could be, but I think they're going straight off chemistry. They've been moving the ball. Came close to winning a couple games. Things are moving along, and then you bring in Jameis Winston, and then it kind of falls off the track. I guess they're saying we're going to ride this till it falls off.
Right. So yeah, it might be, and this happened at Tampa Bay too, when he was there, and now it seems like it's happening at New Orleans. Next game on tap is Miami at Detroit. Detroit, you let me down. So Black and Pop have picked Miami. Who you got?
Miami and Detroit. Is Tua back?
Yeah, Tua played last week. Played pretty well.
Yeah, that's gonna be. You asked a lot for Detroit. When Tua throws that ball around, you get heel rolling. Yeah, and they're getting some strong effort at the running back as well. Yeah, Miami.
Yeah. And Detroit has some injuries, some key injuries. I think Swift. I don't know if he's going to be 100% coming back. The running back that took a lot out of him last week. And then Goff is just not an elite quarterback. Somebody on Twitter years ago told me he was an elite quarterback. And I'm like, what are you drinking? What are you smoking? Because that dude is not an elite quarterback. So it's Miami across the board. Next game on tap is New England at the New York Jets. This is a rivalry game. And Pop and Black are going with the New York Jets. What you got?
Man, I thought I was going to get one.
Everybody's playing it close to the vest except me because I need to catch up.
Yeah. I watched New England last week. I know that the young guy was playing, and then Mac Jones brought him in a little bit. But I think they're bringing back Mac Jones as a starter because he got 90% of the reps this week. But still, Jets playing pretty good. They're playing hard. So I'm going to go with the Jets. I normally wouldn't do this, but I'm going to go with the Jets because I feel like they're playing with a little oomph. And you saw that you kind of punched New England in the mouth. I think the problem, too, is the inconsistency with the quarterback. And I think that's what Belichick is trying to rectify, trying to give them some consistency by starting Mac Jones. But I think he might be doing himself a disservice because the young guy was coming in and he kind of helped right the ship. So now you want to bring Mike Jones in when he wasn't playing that great. So we'll see, but that's why I'm gonna take the Jets.
Yeah, when you're coming off an injury and you try to get back to game speed, sometimes it doesn't work out, and that's why I kind of saw New England kind of took him out like the game is too fast for you, son. So let's put the backup in who's kind of used to the speed. But I got to go with the Jets too. They're just a team that believes. They believe that when they go out there, they can get a win, and I haven't seen that in the two New York teams in a long time that they expect to win, and so they believe they can win. So it's the New York Jets across the board there. Next game on tap is the Battle of Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh at Philadelphia. Pop and Black are going with Philadelphia. Who you got?
Yeah, it's kind of a no-brainer. You just don't know. There's so much inconsistency at quarterback for Pittsburgh. They're looking for some other things, and the injuries on defense has been causing major problems. Philadelphia is feeling real good about themselves now. That team is, and they're on the roll, and I think they'll continue to stay hot.
Yeah, I got to go with Philly too. I don't know what the Pittsburgh defenders are going to do with Jalen Hurts. It's probably they're probably just tearing their hair out right now, trying to figure out what kind of defensive scheme are we going to kind of put out there on the field on Sunday to not kind of stop him, but try to contain him so he doesn't make those big plays. He has some big play receivers too, so I'm not sure if Pittsburgh will be able to withstand a whole game of shutting down those receivers. So it's Philadelphia across the board. Next game on tap is Tennessee at Houston. Pop and Black are going with Tennessee. Who you got?
Yeah, Houston plays real hard, but I watched Derrick Henry last week, and he's running harder. Each week, he seems like he's running harder. And Mike Vrabel, the Tennessee coach, appears to just not care about how they win. It doesn't have to be pretty. He doesn't care if we won by 1 point or we won by half a yard. It's ugly. He doesn't mind ugly, and he'll take the win any way he can. With that being said, that's enough for me to go with Tennessee.
All right, got to go with Tennessee too. I predicted last week Henry will be running hard, and he did for that Tennessee Titan team. Next game on tap is the New York Jets versus the Seattle Seahawks. Pop and Black are going with the Seahawks. Who you got?
Now you said the Giants?
The Giants, I'm sorry. The Giants, the New York Giants versus Seattle, going up to Seattle with the 12th man.
Giants have been playing some ball, though. They're trying to play some ball. They lost last week, but they playing some ball.
Did they lose? I thought they won last week.
No, they came back and won back. I take that back. Yes, they did come back and win. Yeah, that's going to be a problem because I saw some chinks in their armor. It wasn't their fault at all, but it was. But they played hard. But I thought they should have lost the game. But Seattle was. You got to give it to Geno Smith. He's on they feel like they're invincible and they're not afraid. So I think they're going to have a chip on their shoulder. They will love nothing more than to take down the G-Men. So I'm going to go with Seattle.
All right. I'm going to go with the G-Men. What's impressing me with the G-Men is that they're doing their video work and looking at what teams like to do and then shutting it down when they get to play them. So even though the quarterback and Saquon, they're doing their thing, the Giants are rolling. They believe. And I don't see their train being taken off the track too often. So I think they'll get Seattle up in Seattle. So I'm going with the G-Men. Next game on tap is San Francisco at the Los Angeles Rams. Pop and Black are going with San Francisco. Who you got?
Wow. Last time I chose the Rams, they disappointed me. I chose them over the Cowboys. I think I was expecting them to have firepower, right? I think they had the firepower I was looking for, and I don't think they don't have that anymore. They need that. They're missing Odell Beckham. They're also missing some other pieces too, and no matter how hard Donald plays, it's just not enough. So, Garoppolo, McCaffrey's there now. Debo, they feeling some kind of way to prove that it's worth all of the picks, all the stuff they gave up. Yeah, so San Francisco.
Yeah, I had to go to San Francisco too. I thought the Rams would just steal McCaffrey. I thought they were like, okay, let's go get him. We need some firepower like that in this offense. We need a jolt in this offense. They dropped the ball. San Francisco gets him. And then he used to play for Stanford. So he's
Yes.
right in that area. He's feeling at home. He was playing in the game last week. It looked like he just fit right in. So it's San Francisco across the board. Next game on tap is Washington at Indianapolis. Pop and Black are going with Washington. What you got?
Yeah, it's hard to go with Matt Ryan. I mean, seriously, I watched that. And also, too, they replaced him. So
Yeah,
he's not even starting. They're bringing in the backup quarterback.
right.
You know, Washington has done just enough to kind of, they got Robinson, is that the running back that got shot
Yeah.
and came back? I don't understand that. He is totally blessed, and I'm happy for him that he didn't suffer too bad.
Right.
But the man is running like he's running for his life, and he's playing hard. And I think he's playing with a conviction and a focus, and you can just tell every time he touches the ball. So that's enough for me, Washington.
Yeah, I got to go with Washington too. The quarterback, I think his name is Henke. He played a couple of years ago, played out of his head. And when you watch him play against the Green Bay Packers, it just wasn't a surprise that Washington ended up winning that game. He just has a pulse of that team, that offense, and he runs it like he's supposed to be there. So I got to go with Washington too. Next game on tap is Green Bay at Buffalo. Both Pop and Black are going with Buffalo. Who you got?
Yeah, it's hard right now. It seems like not having those wide receivers is coming back to bite Green Bay, and the defense is not playing that well, and it's just not working. I mean, for as much as I say the Green Bay Packers miss Devontae Adams also misses the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah.
They're both suffering right now. They're on a tear right now. So I'm gonna choose Buffalo.
Yeah, I'm going with Buffalo too. This is the Green Bay Packers and Aaron Rodgers' fault. When you pay a big time player like that, you just don't have the money in the cap space to play other players. One of the things I talked to Rodney Harrison about a long time ago, when I was coaching at a camp he was at, and he was telling me how the New England Patriots, what they used to do is if they had a player like a Tom Brady, because if you think about it, Tom Brady was probably never the highest paid quarterback in the league, even though he probably deserved to be the highest paid quarterback, but they would adjust their contract so they can get players that can fill in holes that they had on the team. And not only Tom Brady did it, but other players on the team that are making high salaries, and then they back in their money a little bit later. It was almost like, oh, we'll build incentives and things of that sort to get you your money, but we need you to kind of make this adjustment so we can get the players we need to stay on top, to go to the Super Bowl, and to win. And that's what I don't think Green Bay has kind of mastered, that kind of ability to do. And so you have a quarterback there now who is one of the highest paid quarterbacks there, who have no receivers, or they say no receivers to throw it to, or he can't make it happen, or he can't make other players better. And one thing you have to say about Tom Brady, I always thought he never always had the greatest talent, but he made those guys better. And so he's not able to do that with Tampa Bay. He did it at New England. They made the adjustment. Green Bay, you need to take some notes or call Tom Brady to see how they adjusted those contracts to get better players in Green Bay. Next game on tap, which is the last game, a Monday night game, state rivalry in Ohio, the Battle of Ohio, Cincinnati at Cleveland. And this is going to be a barn burner, I feel, because I don't think these two teams like each other. But Pop and Black are going with Cincinnati. Who you got?
Yeah, Jacoby Brissett, they finally did you a favor by taking those decisions in the red zone out of your hands, and it paid off great. It paid off well for you the way you were getting things done. Bengals are just, they own one right now, as they say in the neighborhood. They own one. Burrow's feeling real good about himself. Defense is really coming up and making big plays when they need to. And last week, Atlanta did everything they could to show that we need to stay around. And when Joe Cool is cooking, he found his number one guy last week, and Chase till right now is still one of the best young wide receivers in the game. And even though you have film on him, when he's on, he's on. So I think that's enough to take down the Browns. I think the Browns are going to not be able to catch up. It's going to be a fast-paced game. I think there's going to be a lot of points scored. And unless the Bengals let Chubb and the running backs run crazy, they're going to be throwing the ball through the air. And I think that's going to be enough. That might be a 14-point swing because Cleveland will do better in a pace that's very slow. In a closer game, the less points scored, the better chance the Browns have to win. And I think that's why the Bengals will win.
I agree. And if the Bengals, these are some keys to them winning this game. No turnovers when they're slinging that ball around. And if Cleveland can win the time of possession and just grind the ball out and then win it in the fourth quarter, they may take it. But I'm going with Cincinnati because I'm not sure if Cleveland can control the ball as much as they need to win this game. So I'm going with Cincinnati. Those are our picks. Check our social media outlets to keep track on what we're doing. We're doing really good, doing better than the average, or doing better than some of the other experts are doing on other stations. We won't talk about that. See you next week in week 9.